Hello, so this is review day 5 for my 7th graders. And what I do on my review day 5 is I just go back and I just do number sense and place value, things like that, just to make sure that students have a real strong understanding of that. If they don't, hopefully I'm filling in a little bit of holes of stuff that they didn't know or didn't understand as well as they should have, that I want them to know really, really well, including even finding the difference between odd and even numbers. And I do this because, like the first year I taught, I actually worked with a student after school, and we were working on prime factorization, which is a really big, important skill in algebra, pre-algebra. One of the things I was, just saying out loud with her was, well, well, we want to look for the smallest prime number, and we know it's even, so we can divide it by 2. And she went, okay, and so she started dividing by 2. Well, we did that a few times, and then all of a sudden she just said, I don't understand why you say it's even and we can divide it by 2. I don't know what you mean. And it occurred to me she did not actually understand the concept of even and odd numbers. So again, it was something that was taught when she was younger. She didn't understand it, and she just never had the courage to mention it to her teachers. And so every single year she just listened to them, and luckily, she was working with me and trusted me, and she went ahead and asked me that question. So I've thrown it in here in my reviews ever since, because I think it's super important to make sure that students do have these concepts in their heads when they go into pre-algebra. So here is the actual skills that I used in my Get More Math for this. So the first one was just, where is the 8 located? Again, this is going to be hopefully going to be pretty easy, and it's going to be skill code 55003. The next one, write the following number in standard form. So it gets them to understand 99,021. This skill right here, skill 55002, it has a lot of 0 placeholders in the numbers to force kids to understand those 0 placeholders that don't appear when you write a number out. Which place value is 4? This is skill code 55001. The next one, which expression is equivalent to 9,694 and 8/10? And then you'd have to understand, the kids would go through that. It's 55012. The next one is just comparing numbers. And so there's even fractions here of less than or greater than. And of course, that's a pretty big skill, because you have to have common denominators in order to make that comparison. The next one is decimals, making comparisons with decimals, 55016. And the next one, which of these sets contain only odd numbers? So again, this is that idea of looking at even and odd in a way that, you have a group of numbers. That's 34001. So again, if you just type in 34001, you're going to see that it's in 6th grade. And we'll take a look at where it's in the textbook, Eureka Engage Module 2, and Lesson 16 is identify even and odd numbers. So this is a standard in 6th grade. So it's in the Eureka module for 6th grade. So it's a nice review to put in here. And so that is, I think that was everything. So that is all of the different skills that I have in my review day 5. And now you'll see me teaching the lesson. Hi, so today we're doing the beginning of the year review day 5, and this one's just going to go back and kind of look at number sense, okay? So you're going to need to get out your workbook, and you're going to need your notebook, because you are going to be taking notes today. And this is review, BOY review day 5. It's written here at the top of the page. And if we look down here, we'll see that it's page S17. And again, it's S17 in the beginning of the review day 5s. So if you look up there and it says module 2, lesson 7, then you know you've gone too far. You want to back up a little bit and get into those beginning of the year reviews. And in order to do this, what I want you to start to do is open up your notebook, and I want you to create this chart to kind of help you. It's just going back to the idea of number sense and how numbers actually work, okay? So I want you to go ahead and just go ahead and draw this, so that you understand how this works, all right? So you're gonna have a space right here. I'm gonna want you to pause the video so that you can get all this written down. Once you've caught up and you have all of this written down, and I actually want you to go all the way to billions, so just as many as I did, then I want you to go ahead and restart the video, okay? Okay, so you have all of this written down, and I just wanna make sure that there's another thing that you understand about number sense, okay? As far as keeping numbers straight. We organize our large numbers, our whole numbers, with commas, okay? Okay, so we'll see the thousands here, so we'll put a comma. And then again, between our millions and our thousands, we'll put a comma. And again, between our billions and our millions. And so that just kind of helps us place all of these different numbers. So we have, between our thousands and our hundreds, between our millions and our thousands, and between our billions and our millions. And we just continue to do that over and over and over again as we look at numbers, okay? So let's look at problem number 1. And problem number 1 says, where is the 7 located? Well, here's the 7 right here. And so hopefully you'll understand that there's no decimal. This is a comma. And so this is going to be in the ones place, okay? And then so you'll circle that. So hopefully some of these will be pretty easy. Here's 37,651. And I see that the 7 is the first one to the left of the first comma. So there's only one comma. So it's actually right here is where the 7 is. And then it'll tell you that that's in the thousands. So if you need to, that's what you need to do. Come back, use this to kind of help you out and go, oh, wait. The 7 is right here. That's the thousands place, okay? So we'll come over here, and here is thousands. And so that's going to be answer number B, okay? Number 5. And I know that a lot of these are pretty easy for you. I just want to make sure that you really do understand the idea. Now they want you to write this number, and they have 726,000, then they have a comma, and then they have 99. So that tells me that I have to have numbers that look like this. So there's the comma separating my thousands from my hundreds, and then I write this number first on this side, right? Then the comma. 726. I need these 3 numbers to look like 726. And then 99. I need these 3 numbers to look like 99. Well, I know that this is what 99 looks like. And so I'm going to have to put a 0 here as a placeholder. So it's real important to make sure that you do that. I've had kids a lot of times, they forget the 0, they get the answer wrong. So make sure you're actually doing that. And then the next one, it asks you, now there is a decimal point here, so we have to be careful. It wants to know where the 4 is located. So again, if you're not sure, that's going to be 3 digits to the left of the decimal. So I'm going to come over here again, 3 digits to the left of the decimal. So 1, 2, 3. That means that that 4 was right here, and that is in the hundreds place. So I'm going to come back over here. And I know that what I'm looking for is hundreds, not thousands, not 10, not hundreds, but hundreds. The next one, again, we have a decimal, so we want to make sure we see that. Where is the 5 located? Well, here's the 5. It's 3 digits to the right of the decimal. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here. And I'm going to do that exact same thing, help myself out. I'm going to go 3 digits to the right. 1, 2, 3. Here's the 5. So it's in the thousands place. So again, this is here. I know that when they first taught it to you when you were young, that this might have skipped past you and you didn't understand it thoroughly. And so I put it in my review because I want you to understand this very, very well, okay? So if this is easy for you, good. You've got another easy day, right? And whenever you get an easy day in my classroom, it's always a 4-letter word because we all know how kids like 4-letter words. And that 4-letter word is a gift. So you just take it as a gift. It's a gift. It's easy because I'm going to tell you what, there's other days, it's another 4-letter word, and that's hard. Okay. So just realize that that's going to be coming up. And then 2 4-letter words with very hard. Okay. So just realize that that's going to happen in your day too. The next one, they want you to write an expression, which expression is equivalent to 19 and 607 thousandths. So we're going to go ahead and just do this math. Well, 1 times 100 is 100. I'm just going to go ahead and write it down. And 9 times 10 is 90. And 6 times 1 is 6. And 7 times, or 100th, is 700. Okay, so then I'll just do decimals with placeholders here so I can add these. So we just add a decimal and placeholders. And then we just line up our decimals and we add like normal. So this would be 196 700ths. That's not it, so it's not A. We'll erase that, we'll try it again. So we'll erase this one, and we'll just try it again. The next one. So the next one is 1 times 100,000. Well, that's going to be 100,000. And the next one is 9 times 10,000. So that's going to be 90,000. The next one's going to be 6 times 100. So that's 600. And 7 times 1 And then we have no decimals, so it's a 706,091. And that is clearly not right, right? Because this number is actually below 20. So we'll erase it. We'll try another one. All right, so the next one says 1 times 10, which is 10, plus 9 times 1, which is 9, times 6 times 1/10, which is 6/10, times 7 times 100th, which is 700ths. And again, we have decimals here, so now we're going to have to go ahead and place our decimals and put placeholders everywhere we need to. Sorry, adding decimals, we just line up all the decimals and add like normal. So when we add all these, we get 19.67. Well, that's not right either. So we'll cross that one off. And hopefully we did all these right. It should be this last one since it's the last one, but I always want you to do the math just to confirm it. So we have 1 times 10 is 10, 9 times 1 is 9, 6 times 1/10 is 6/10. So again, whenever I write a number less than 1, I always put a 0 as my placeholder in the ones. And 7 times 1,000 is 7,000. So it's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And then I'm going to put placeholders. I need 2 placeholders with this number. I need 3 placeholders with this number. I need 3 placeholders with this number. Now I'm just adding my decimals. So I just line them up and I just add like normal. It's all 0, that's 6, that's 9, that's 1. And so I see that D is the correct answer. Now, this one's a little different. They want to know which inequality correctly compares 436 thousandths to 36 thousandths. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go back there. And those numbers were 436 thousandths. So let's try that one. 436 thousandths. So I want to show you how you can use this to help you out. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of these. The number was 436 thousandths. Okay, so when you take the number 436, and then it says thousands, that means that this number here has to end up in the thousandths place. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the 6 here, then I'll put the 3, and then I'll put the 4. And that's how you actually write that number. Okay, so again, you go ahead and just write the number out here like normal, 436, and then this number has to be in the thousandths column. And then let's see what the other number was. And the other number was to 36 thousandths. Okay, so we'll go to 36 thousandths. And then I'll just write that number in red. And again, so the number is 36, and it's thousandths, so I want this to be in the thousandths. So here's a thousandth, so that's here. And then 3. And then since we have to have a number between the decimal and this number, we're going to put a placeholder of 0. And that's how you actually write that number. So now you just want to take a look. Well, which one's larger? Well, this one is, right? Because it's got a 4 in the placeholder. It's only got a 0. So it should look like this. So our answer should look like, let's just take a picture of this and bring it back over there to that problem. But this is what it actually should look like, right? So this is, send it to my clipboard, and then we'll take it over there and we'll actually set it down and we'll compare. And we'll see which one looks like that. And it's right here, so we'll go ahead and we'll paste this. This is our answer. Of course, you'd have your paper, and you could just look at it, right? Okay, so I need 0.436 is greater than, so 0.436 is less than, okay, so that's not right. They also have another less than, and they have an equals. So as we take a look, the correct one is that one right there, right? And I think there's just a couple more. Oh, there's actually a lot more. All right, so the next one, same thing. They want us to do the same kind of thing. Which inequality correctly compares 483 thousandths? So let's just go over there and we're going to write that number again. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the number. So it is 483 thousandths. Okay, so I just go ahead and write 483. I know I want the 3 to land in the thousandths, so I'm going to put the 3 right there, and then I'm going to start writing in my numbers. Okay, so there's the first one, and then we'll see the second one. The other one is to 83 thousandths. So we'll go over here and we'll do 83 thousandths, and I'll write that in a different color. So we'll write 83 thousandths. And again, we want that 3 then to land in the thousandths place. So we'll put it in the thousandths place. We'll write an 8. And then we have to get back to our decimal. So we'll have to put a 0 as a placeholder here. And then we take a look at these numbers and we go, okay, so I have, and I'll go ahead and write them. So the way this should look is 0.483. Well, this number is larger than this number, okay? So 0.083. But what if they wrote it the other way? What if they start with the little number? So let's go ahead and write the little number. So 83 thousandths. And we know that is less than 483 thousandths. So it could be either one of those. So either one of those is correct. So what I want to do is I want to take a picture, and then we'll take it over there and we'll compare. So I'll paste this image. So here it is. And I need to make it a little bit. Okay, so here's the problem right here. And I want to see which one looks like this one. So I have 0.483, which is this one, is greater than, and it looks like this is the one right here. So it was the very first one, okay? Okay, so for the next problem, they want you to compare this number by choosing greater than or less than. And so we have a decimal and we have a fraction. So that's hard to really compare. So the first thing let's do, let's convert this to a fraction, okay? And we know 33 hundredths. If you actually say that, it sounds exactly like its fractional equivalent, 33 hundredths, okay? And then this one is 2/10. Well, let's go ahead and convert this to hundredths, okay? Well, in order to do that, we're going to multiply it by 1, because we know whenever we multiply a number by 1, the number doesn't change, right? 5 times 1 is 5, 10 times 1 is 10, 3,000 times 1 is 3,000. So it doesn't change. But we need our 1 to look like a fraction, okay? That's going to get us hundredths over here. So what we do is we try to figure out, what could we multiply this by? What 1 could we multiply this by that would get us from 10 to 100 here? And so the one that we'd want to use is 10/10. And we know 10/10 is actually 1, right? So it's really 1. So it's just kind of that idea that 10/10 is equal to 1. So when we multiply by 10/10, we're just multiplying by 1. And we know when we multiply by 1, the number doesn't change. It's going to look different, but the number didn't change. It's really the exact same thing. And so we can even see that 10 times 10 is 100, 2 times 10 is 20. And so I know that 21 hundredths and 2/10 are equivalent, okay? They're really the exact same thing. I just multiplied them both by 10. And now I can take a look and I can see, hey, 33 hundredths is larger than 20 hundredths. So I need the larger than symbol. And so the correct answer is going to be B. Okay, so for some of you, you might still be a little confused as to where we get the greater than and less than symbols. And I just want to show you just a basic number line, okay? So here's 0, here's 1, here's -1. And as we go in this direction, the numbers keep getting larger or greater than. And so what we did is we took the end of the number line and that became the greater than symbol, okay? If we go this way, the numbers are getting smaller or they're getting less than the numbers that we just passed. And that's where we get the less than symbol. We take it straight from the number line. So if you're never sure what to do, which one's which, just draw a number line. So if you draw this number line right here, you can see right here, if I start to draw a number line, this is going to be at this end. That's going to be my less than. And if I draw a number line right here, that's my greater than, okay? And that's going to be my greater than symbol. So if you're not totally sure, just draw the picture real quick. Pictures are always worth a lot. When you draw a picture in math, it helps you see the math so much better. So just draw the picture till you see it, because eventually then you'll see it. And it'll just be another thing that became simple for you, because that's really how math is. It's impossible till you understand it, and then it's simple. So my job is to help it go from impossible to simple for you, and this is just one of those things. If you never truly understood which one was less than and which one was greater than, and it's okay, because I'm going to tell you, I have lots of kids that come to my class in 7th grade, and they do not remember which symbol is which, and then they start getting problems wrong. Not because they didn't understand the math. They could see this math, but because they just forgot how which symbol meant which one. So I don't know if anybody ever told it to you like that. I know in your younger grades, they told you this dumb story about alligators eating numbers. I don't want you to understand that. I want you to understand mathematically. We didn't think of an alligator when we came up with these signs. We thought of a number line. Mathematics is very logical, and all you have to do is look at the math to start seeing where we actually get some of these symbols, okay? Then the next one is between odd and even numbers. And so if you don't have a real good concept of odd and even, you need to make sure you understand that if we just start counting from 0, and we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then if we just start skip counting by 2s, if we do that, we get all the even numbers. Okay, so those numbers are even. And if we start at 1 and skip count, then those are going to be the odd numbers. So again, if you're not totally sure, it's how we did it. We just skip counted by 2s starting at 0, and then skip counted by 2s starting at 1. When we start at 0, the numbers we land on are even. If we start with 1, the numbers we land on are odd. So just making sure you understand that distinction between even and odd. So which of these sets contains only odd numbers? When you're looking for an odd number, it's always the last number in the number is going to determine whether it's odd or even. Because remember, we'd skip count all the way to 132. We'd skip count by 2s all the way to 132. And in order to land on 132, then we're going to have to skip count with the even numbers, all right? So let me actually have you draw this out real quick. So go ahead, and I want you to draw a number line. And we're going to go ahead and do that skip counting right there, okay? So we're just going to draw a number line, and we have 0, 1, 2. Okay, so what I want you to do is just draw a number line and just think about how numbers just keep going and going and going, right? And they continue to go, you know, forever in the left-hand side too, and those are all of your negative numbers set. But what I want you to notice is that skip counting as we go on and on. So I just want you to go ahead and have this. We'll go ahead and do all the numbers from 0 to 9 because they'll just keep repeating. You know, 10 would start right here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 100, 101, 102. So it'll always just keep repeating, okay? Now, if you're skip counting starting at 0 and you skip count by 2s, you are going to land on all the even numbers, okay? And that's going to skip count past that one. So these are called the even numbers. And just go ahead and write that. Any number that ends in these numbers are going to be even, all right? And then if you skip count starting with the 1, you're going to land on all the odd numbers. So just go ahead and have that in your notes just to kind of help you out, all right? And we'll go back to that. All right, so now what we want to do is we see that 2 would be even, right? Because we're skip counting, we land on 2, that's even. We're looking for ones that only contain odd, so we can we can get rid of that. Well, 7, if you look at that list, was odd. 8 is even, so we'd cross it off. We have a 1, that's odd. We have a 3, that's odd. We have a 3, that's odd. We have a 1, that's odd. So it looks like this is our group, but just to make sure, we'll check the next one. 3 is odd, but 8 is even, so I know I can cross that off, okay? Which of these sets has at least one odd number? So now we're just looking for just one odd number. 0 is even, 4 is even, 4 is even, 4 is even. There are no odd numbers in this set. 8 is even, 2 is even, 2 is even, 8 is even. There are no odd numbers in this set. 8 is even, 6 is even, 6 is even, 0 is even. There are no odd numbers in this set. 3 is an odd number, so it appears that this is exactly the one that you wanted, okay? And that gets us the end of this lesson. And so now you're just going to go meet me in class tomorrow. We'll work on some more problems in class, and then you guys will start to do your work. So again, if this is super easy for you, good, it's a gift. And for those of you who needed this as a review, please make sure you keep these good notes because they're going to help fill in those holes in your math, and that's my plan this year. Fill in those holes so you understand all of the math, okay? All right, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow.